Canadians are a nation of clutter collectors, and most of us are unable to break the habit.
Now, what's feeding our habit? A recent survey found that most Canadians hold on to unwanted items either because of the hassle or the amount of time it takes to get rid of them. Furthermore, less than 30% of us feel capable of estimating the value of our unwanted stuff. The result? A nation full of basements and garages filled to the rafters with things we no longer want.
Well, our next guest can certainly help. Jaclyn Ray is Kijiji's Clutter Wrangler. She joins us now from Toronto. Jaclyn, let's point the finger of blame where it really belongs. It's women, right? They're the worst clutterers, right?
No, that's not true.
Well, I got my information wrong here then.
Yeah, we found out women and men are equally to blame.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
it's
believe
true.
That.
I believe that. What are the things that people hang on to? What kinds of things are you saying that they just simply can't part with?
You know, I've seen everything. So a wide range of furniture to household goods like small appliances, but also stuff that holds memory or souvenirs, and of course a lot of paperwork.
Can we talk about furniture for a second? Because I know where you're coming from. If it happened to be grandma's chair or your mother-in-law's curio cabinet or whatever, those big items are tough to. But also, if you happen to get a visit from that person and they say, hey, where's the whatever that I gave you, it's difficult to get rid of those things, but those take up the most amount of room as well.
They do take up a lot of room, but you do have to ask yourself, is it useful? Because ultimately, it's your decision, it's your house, and you may be emotionally attached, but it still has to serve a function because it's taking up a lot of room in your house.
Now, another thing I noticed with people is they may have paid top dollar for a piece of furniture or a cabinet. And then 25 years down the road, when it is really considered quite ugly, they still think it's worth a lot of money because they paid top dollar, and it's oak. It's oak with brass, and nobody's using it anymore, but they paid a lot of money for it. So how do you kind of get them to recognize that it's not worth the money that they paid for?
Well, you know, if you look at a site like Kijiji.ca, you can compare the furniture that you have to what's on there and really see what people are paying for it now. So, you know, if you can see it, at least there is some value to it. It may not be as high as you had hoped, but you're still going to get something for it, and it will go to someone who may like it or use it more than you do right now, 25 years later.
But Jaclyn, we don't know. We know what people are asking on Kijiji. We don't know what the selling price was. And therein, I think, is the biggest problem, is you'll see something, let's say a couch that's similar to yours, and the person's asking $150 for it. You're going, hey, $150. You don't know maybe that the person got $60 cash for it, and they took it away. So how do you know what your stuff is really worth? Can you call somebody and say, excuse me, would you mind telling me what did you actually sell that for?
Well, you could email that person and say, do you mind telling me what you ended up selling it for? But through Kijiji, you can always email the person who has posted the ad. Or there are always secondhand stores or antique stores. You know, if you've got the time, you can always check around locally to see what things are worth.
Now, everybody under 30 that's watching this show right now knows what Kijiji is. For anybody else, what is it and how does it work?
Kijiji is a free online classifieds website, and
very popular too. It's
very popular, and it's all across Canada. So it's in about 67 cities in Canada right now. When you go to Kijiji.ca, you simply post an ad for the item that you want to sell. Potential buyers will email you back, and then you can set up a time to meet with them and complete the transaction.
And the way to post the ad is very clear, the instructions on how to do this? Is it
Donna, even I can do that. If I can jump in for a second, we did 2 garage sales this past year with Kijiji, and even I can do it. You take a picture of the item, it's easy to upload, and then I'm amazed, by the way, Jaclyn, at the number of responses you get from people, not just in your area, but if it happens to be a certain piece. We got calls from people who lived, you know, over an hour away that were willing to come down with a truck to pick it up and take it out of there.
Right, that's a great advantage, is you don't have to ship anything anywhere. So on top of it being a free ad, most of the time people will come pick the stuff up right from your house. So it couldn't be less hassle than that.
Now, do you, I mean, obviously prior to Kijiji and other sites like it, people used the want ads in the local papers, or they would post signs saying they had a garage sale and try to get rid of their clutter. Are these still viable options? Can they be worked in conjunction with Kijiji? In other words, can you post on Kijiji that you're having a garage sale or you're having a yard sale and show pictures of these items that you're selling?
Yes, you can. There's a garage sale section on Kijiji. If you'd like to advertise your garage sale, you can do that through Kijiji. I would post ads for items for the garage sale prior to the garage sale, and if you can sell it beforehand, then you've got less to do on garage sale day. So I would do both.
And maybe make even more money for it beforehand as well. The other thing is, of course, we're in a recession. Money is tight. You can make a lot of money getting rid of things in your house that you're not using, right?
Right. I think people don't know that, you know, the value of their stuff, overestimating or underestimating. But I think in the end, you'll still end up with, you know, cash that wasn't there if you were to just put it on the curb or take it to charity. I think there is a lot of money to be made for secondhand items.
And do you find, too, that people, if they're willing to travel a certain distance to buy something, you know, usually will buy it? In other words, if someone says, look, I'm going to come down Saturday, you know, with my truck and everything like that, it's pretty much assured that they're going to probably buy the item for close to what your asking price is?
I think so. I think there's a little bit of bartering and a little bit of dealing, but I think you're going to get quite close to what you've posted it for. And people are serious if they're going to take a drive and bring a truck or a vehicle that, you know, most of the time items sell when you meet the person in person.
Right. And I love the name Kijiji. In fact, you should give Donna some royalties, because that's the exact sound she makes when she sneezes.
Oh, that's great.
Kijiji. It's kind of like.
And what does it stand for? Our producer found out.
Yeah, what is Kijiji?
It means village in Swahili.
Of course.
No kidding.
Yeah, of
I
course.
have to brush up on my
And how long
Swahili.
have you been around, quickly?
I've been a professional organizer for 7 years.
And what about Kijiji, the site itself?
Kijiji has been around for, I think,
About
3
3 years?
years.
Yeah.
About 3 years.
That was
Great.
longer than
Well,
that.
listen,
Okay.
that's Jaclyn Ray. Thanks so much for helping us unclutter ourselves, so to speak.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
When we come back, teenage mothers and